My therapist says resentment doesn't explode, it leaks. I didn't believe him until the night I finally snapped without yelling. One simple sentence, calm and polite, and my marriage shattered like glass. I'm still trying to figure out whether I was protecting myself or burning everything down. Sunday dinners with my in-laws were usually predictable. Same casserole dishes, same conversations, same gentle comments that sometimes felt a little pointed. But this time? This one flipped my entire marriage upside down. We were at the table, me, my wife, her parents, her sister, and the sister's husband. Pot roast steaming up the room, plates clinking, everyone chatting about work. Nothing unusual. My brother-in-law had just scored a promotion at his finance job, complete with a corner office. Everyone's congratulating him, and honestly, I'm happy for the guy. Good for him. Then my sister-in-law turns to me with this smile that doesn't reach her eyes. So, you're still at the same place, right? I nod. Yeah. Network admin been there a while. They're expanding my team soon, so I'll probably start managing a few people. I say it casually, because I like my job. I'm good at it. It's not glamorous, but it pays well and I actually enjoy it. She gives me this slow nod. Wow. Must be really comfortable staying in one spot that long. I chuckle, trying not to take it personally. My wife says nothing. Just eats. Then her sister keeps going. I guess it works though. I mean, with how fast my sister's career is rising, she needs someone steady. Someone who isn't going anywhere. That tone. Like she was complimenting a dog for not running away. My wife's a marketing director. She does well. Maybe a bit more than me, maybe not, it never mattered to me. I always thought of us as a team. I joke, someone's gotta keep the house from falling apart. Her sister laughs like I just confirmed what she believed. Exactly. She's lucky she settled for someone like you. Not everyone can be the support system. And then everything goes quiet. For half a second, I expect my wife to say something. To shut it down. To defend her husband. Instead, she laughs. A real, genuine laugh. And she looks at her sister, not at me, like they're sharing the funniest moment of the night. He's right, my wife says. Someone has to be the steady one. My chest goes cold. I stare at her. She's smiling, just not with me. Her sister pats her hand. It's good he knows his role. Not every guy can handle a wife who ends up being the breadwinner. My wife immediately corrects her. We make about the same. Oh, for now, her sister says, smirking. Give it a couple years. My mother-in-law tries to jump in. You both have wonderful careers. That's what matters. But the air is different. The whole table feels off. And something in my head just clicks. Not anger. Not embarrassment. Just clarity. I smile. You're absolutely right. Her sister beams. See? He gets it. I do, I say calmly, placing my napkin down. Excuse me. I need to make a phone call. I walk outside, sit in my car, and let that whole scene replay in my head. And suddenly, I'm remembering every little jab from her family over the past 6 years. Every time her sister belittled me. Every time her parents implied she could do better. Every time I waited for my wife to defend me. She never did. She agreed. She laughed. Just like tonight. I pull out my phone and call my lawyer. He's been on retainer since handling my dad's estate. Weeks ago, after a huge fight where my wife told me I had no ambition compared to real men, I asked him about options. We talked. He drafted papers. I didn't act, until now. Can you meet me at your office? Tonight, I ask him. He hesitates. It's Sunday. I'll pay whatever you want. An hour and a half later, I'm sitting across from him, signing my name. No hesitation. No shakiness in my hand. He asks softly, are you sure? Yeah, I answer. And I mean it. I drive straight back to my in-laws' house. They're eating dessert when I walk in. My wife looks surprised. Where were you? You missed dinner. Had something to take care of. I sit, pull a folder from my jacket, and place it in front of me. Her sister is still talking about some 4-bedroom house they're thinking of buying. I wait a beat. Then I interrupt. Quick question, do you still think my wife settled for me? Her sister freezes. I didn't mean it like. How did you mean it? I ask calmly. That I'm stable? Reliable? That she settled down instead of settling up? My wife grabs my arm. Can we please not do this here? We're already here, I say. And I slide the folder across the table. She opens it. Her face drains of color. What is this? Divorce papers, I say. Already filed. You'll be officially served this week. But I thought you deserved a heads up. Silence. Total, absolute silence. My father-in-law looks like someone unplugged him. My mother-in-law is barely breathing. Her sister is pale. My wife finally whispers. You're joking. This is crazy. Not even close, I reply. This isn't about one comment. It's about 6 years of them. Her sister snaps, it was a joke. You're being dramatic. I look her dead in the eye. If it was a joke, why did she laugh? Why didn't she defend her husband? Why did she agree with you? No answer. My wife shakily says, you can't just. I already did. My lawyer's expecting yours to call. I stand, nod politely. Dinner was great. Really opened my eyes. Then I walk out. Behind me, I hear chaos erupting, voices overlapping, her mom crying, my wife shouting my name, her sister trying to backtrack. But I don't turn around. I get in my car, drive to a hotel, and sit in the quiet, finally choosing peace over being someone's punchline. And that's where the Real story begins, Update 1, rewritten with dramatic YouTube storytelling style. It's been a few weeks since the dinner disaster. And honestly, the past month has felt like someone ripped the floor out from under my life and I just stepped off anyway. The morning after I dropped those papers at the table, my phone exploded. Calls, texts, voicemails, my wife practically tried to set the phone on fire through sheer volume. I didn't answer a single one. Finally, I sent one message. Contact me through my lawyer. That was it. No heart emoji. No, let's talk. No explanation. Just a full stop. That evening, she showed up at the house. Problem was, I'd already been there earlier that morning, while she was at work, and grabbed everything I actually needed. Clothes, personal documents, hard drives, my passport, the stuff you don't want held hostage by anyone. She walked in, realized I'd been there, and immediately flipped out. Next thing I know, she's calling the police. Said I broke in. The cops show up. I calmly show them my ID and the deed with both our names on it. We bought this place together, I explain. I'm just grabbing my personal belongings while we separate. They tell her it's a civil matter, not criminal, and leave her standing there furious and helpless. That's when things really started to spiral. Enter the in-law army. First up, my mother-in-law. She leaves a dramatic, emotional voicemail like I'd just set the family home on fire. How could you do this? You're destroying a good marriage over a misunderstanding. My daughter loves you. Families work through things. Delete. Then her father calls. Completely different vibe, like the wise older man giving me the talk. Son, you're overreacting. Marriage isn't easy. My daughter isn't perfect, but neither are you. You need thicker skin. Don't throw away years over hurt feelings. Didn't call him back either. Then her brother texts me. Bro, seriously? You blowing up your marriage cause your feelings got hurt? Man up. I blocked him so fast my phone probably felt the wind. But the best one? The absolute chef's kiss? Her sister. The very woman who started the whole mess. She sends me a full essay disguised as an apology email. Says she's sorry if I misinterpreted what she said. Claims she was just joking, that I'm overly sensitive, and that I clearly have deep insecurity issues I should take to therapy. I forwarded it straight to my lawyer with zero commentary. If a person ever hands you a gift-wrapped confession, use it. The office ambush. A few days go by with silence, then suddenly my office building calls me. Security says my wife is in the lobby refusing to leave until she talks to me. The scene is a nightmare. She's frantic, breathless, eyes red. We end up at the tiny coffee shop next door. Before we even sit down properly, she launches into it. This is insane. You're seriously ending our marriage over a joke? No, I say. I'm ending it because you don't respect me. And your family doesn't respect me. And you have absolutely no problem with that. That's not true, she fires back, voice shaking. I was uncomfortable. I didn't know what to say. You could have said, don't talk about my husband that way. You could have said it wasn't true. You could have said anything except laughing. She starts crying, covering her face, saying she didn't mean it, saying she loves me, saying I misunderstood. And that's when I unload everything. Not yelling, not angry, just factual. Every dig about my job. Every joke about my car and hobbies. Every time her parents implied I wasn't good enough. Every moment she laughed or stayed silent. Her face goes blank. It's like she never realized I wasn't a punching bag who found it all adorable. We can fix this, she whispers. Counseling. A reset. Something. I don't want to fix it, I tell her. I want out. She looks like I just reached inside her chest and pulled something loose. Then she panics. What about the house? Our life? Everything we built? We sell the house, I say. We split it. The lawyers will handle the rest. And that's it? Just like that? 6 years means nothing? 6 years of being disrespected means I'm done. I stood up and walked away. She stayed at that little coffee table sobbing into her hands. Legal ping pong. A week later, her lawyer finally reaches mine. Their stance? Everything was perfect until I snapped irrationally at a family dinner. They call it impulsive. They say I'll regret it. They suggest a 6-month separation period so I can cool off. My lawyer sends back a simple, iconic line. No. We are proceeding with divorce. Then her lawyer makes their next move, spousal support. Because we've been married over 5 years, she claims she planned to cut back on work to start having kids, meaning she'll need financial support. I nearly choke when I hear that. Kids? Quitting her job? Cutting hours? This woman never even hinted at quitting anything except maybe Netflix when the Wi-Fi was slow. My lawyer asks for proof. Any documentation. A work letter, resignation plan, fertility treatments, literally anything. They have nothing. Because there was nothing. The peanut gallery. Then come the messages. Friends. Cousins. Random acquaintances I barely remember meeting. You're being stubborn. You'll regret this. Don't let pride ruin a marriage. Not one person asks me why. Not one asks what led to divorce. They just assume the man must be irrational, emotional, dramatic. Typical. The house. The one thing we actually agreed on was selling the house. She originally wanted to buy me out, her parents would loan her money. She wanted to keep it. And I said no. Absolutely not. That house was a museum of every time I got laughed at, dismissed, belittled. I didn't want a single wall, tile, or drawer from that place. She accused me of being vindictive. Maybe she's right. Or maybe I just don't want to live in a building full of ghosts who laughed in my face. Either way, it's going on the market. And that's just the beginning. The house sold faster than either of us expected. Nice neighborhood, good schools, freshly renovated kitchen, people were lining up for it. After closing costs and paying off the mortgage, we walked away with just under $85,000 each. Clean split. No gloating, no bitterness, just signatures on a dotted line. The place that once felt like ours officially belonged to someone else. A few days before everything was finalized, she reached out again. She wanted closure. Coffee shop. Same one where she cried weeks earlier. I went because curiosity won over annoyance. When I got there, I barely recognized her. She looked thinner, exhausted, like she hadn't slept properly in weeks. A tiny part of me felt a tug of guilt, like maybe I'd been too harsh. Then I remembered the dinner table. Her laugh. That familiar sting in my chest. And suddenly, I didn't feel guilty at all. She started talking before I even sat down. "I've been thinking about everything," she said quietly. I just nodded. Waited. "You were right. About my sister. About my family." She looked down at her coffee like it might say something helpful. She's always been like that. Critical. I guess I got numb to it. I didn't realize how it affected you. I nodded again. No anger. No relief. Just listening. "I should have defended you," she continued. "I should have shut her down. I'm sorry." "Okay," I said. She stared at me, confused. Like she had expected some emotional release, a dramatic scene, forgiveness, a hug, something. "That's it?" she asked. "Is that all you're going to say? What do you want me to say?" I asked her. "That you forgive me? That we can try again?" I shook my head slowly. "I don't forgive you. Maybe someday, but not today. And no, we're not trying again." "Why not?" "I'm apologizing. I'm saying I was wrong." "You're apologizing after I filed for divorce. After I moved out. After you realized I was serious. You're not sorry for what you did, you're sorry there are consequences." She blinked, stunned. "That's not fair." "You know what's not fair?" I said, keeping my voice low. "Being married to someone who never defended me. Who let her family treat me like I should be grateful," she settled. "Who laughed at their jokes instead of shutting them down." "I do respect you," she whispered. "I always did." "No," I answered. "Respect isn't passive. It's not silent. Respect is active. It's speaking up when the people you love insult your partner. You never did that. Not once." Her voice cracked. "I'll do better. I promise. I can change." "I'm sure you will," I said. "But you won't be changing for me. It's too late." She reached for me like she was trying to grab onto something slipping through her fingers. "Please. I love you." I stood up, put a couple dollars on the table for my coffee. "No. You love the idea of being married. Having stability. Having someone reliable. That's not the same thing as loving me." And I walked out. Again. The final goodbye. A month later, the divorce was finalized. No kids, so nothing complicated. She got slightly more than I did. Technically, we disagreed on a few furniture items and the judge sided with her. Honestly, she could have taken the entire living room for all I cared. I didn't want furniture weighted with 6 years of resentment. Heard through a mutual friend that she moved back in with her parents. Couldn't afford rent right away. Her sister, the queen of condescension, was going through her own marriage issues. Apparently her husband was tired of her attitude. Shocking. Turns out constant judgment isn't romantic long term. A few months later, my former mother-in-law tried to friend me on social media. Ignored it. Then my ex texted me on what would have been our 7th anniversary. "Thinking about you today. Hope you're well." Didn't answer. Eventually I heard she started dating someone. Good. Hopefully she treats him better. Me? I'm still here. I started therapy. A real one-on-one dive into the mess inside my head. Turns out the dinner comment wasn't the cause, it was the straw on top of years of swallowed humiliation. My therapist called it death by 1,000 cuts. Makes sense. And for the first time in years, I'm building a life that actually feels like mine. Work? Great. I got that management promotion. I'm running a team now. Better pay, better benefits. I'm respected there. I'm valued. Home? Smaller than the house, but every square foot is mine. My posters, my couch, my setup, my space. And nobody rolls their eyes at my hobbies. I bought a dog. Always wanted one. My ex hated animals. My dog doesn't judge my job, or my clothes, or how much I earn. He just sits next to me and trusts I'll show up tomorrow. Honestly? Best relationship I've ever had. Sometimes, late at night, I wonder if I overreacted. If pride cost me a marriage. Then I remember her face, laughing at that dinner table. Not confused, not scared, amused. And I realize, I didn't end my marriage because of one comment. I ended it because I finally understood I'd spent 6 years being treated like someone she settled for, instead of someone she chose proudly. I deserve more than that. We all do. And by the time she figured that out, I was already gone. Almost a year has passed since the divorce was finalized. Life has calmed down in the best possible way, and I figured I'd leave things with one final update. Recently, I found out my ex got engaged. Not from her directly, obviously, I saw it through mutual friends on social media. Different guy than the one she dated right after me. This one's some corporate ladder climber with fancy vacations, tailored suits, and a salary her sister probably salivates over. Good for them. Honestly. Though, judging by her engagement announcement, 3 paragraphs about the venue, the ring, the floral arrangements, and 0 words about the guy himself, let's just say I'm not convinced she's learned much. Meanwhile, her sister finally got divorced. Yep, the same sister who humiliated me at dinner and told me my wife settled. Turns out her husband had been dealing with the same condescending behavior I did. Years of it. He finally tapped out. She moved back in with my former in-laws. So now, both sisters live at home again. That household must be lively. Can't imagine the smugness bouncing off those walls. The unexpected beer. Out of nowhere, my former brother-in-law reached out months ago. The guy who told me to man up when I first left. He wanted to grab a beer. Said he owed me an apology. Curiosity got the better of me. So we met. First thing he said? He told me my ex had told everyone I blindsided her, that our marriage was perfect, happy, stable until I randomly lost it and filed for divorce. She swore she had no idea I was unhappy. And they all believed her because, well, she's family. Then her sister's marriage exploded, and suddenly things weren't adding up anymore. He starts telling me how her husband complained for years that she belittled him, mocked his career, made him feel small. How she gaslit him, saying he was too sensitive, that he should toughen up. He looked at me across the bar and said, quietly, she did the same thing to you, didn't she? Pretty much, I said. He shook his head. That's rough, man. I'm sorry. It's done, I told him. I'm good. He nodded, looked me over, and said, you look good. Happier. And I realized. I am. Not spite happy. Not revenge happy. Just peaceful. My life now. Bought a small house a few months ago. 2 bedrooms, a yard big enough for the dog to go nuts in, and not a single memory of anyone laughing at my expense. It's mine. Every inch of it. The walls don't judge me. The furniture doesn't mock me. The silence doesn't make me feel small. Dating? Slowly. Met a few nice people. A couple not so nice ones. Had something mild with someone for a bit, but we wanted different things. No heartbreak. No drama. Just life. Work is great. Got promoted again. I'm now the department head, 3 teams under me. Better money, bigger responsibilities. My parents are proud. My mom says I look lighter, like I finally came back to myself. Guess she wasn't wrong. I spent so long pretending everything was fine that I forgot what fine actually felt like. Ran into my ex once, random coffee shop moment. She was with her fiancé. We did that awkward half wave. He didn't know who I was. She looked happy, or trying to look happy. Hard to tell. I just grabbed my drink and headed out to take my dog to the park. Unbothered. That moment felt more like closure than any conversation could have given. Do I regret it? People love asking if I regret not trying counseling first. If I should have given her one more chance. I did. For 6 years. Every time someone in her family tore me down, and she stayed quiet, she was given a chance. Every time I felt small and she laughed, she was given a chance. Every moment I was treated like I should feel lucky she married me, that was a chance. She didn't take any of them. The dinner wasn't the moment I ended my marriage. It was the moment I stopped pretending it was still alive. Victory isn't always loud. She's planning another wedding now. I'm sure it'll be huge. Expensive venue, perfect photos, her sister as maid of honor again, champagne flutes clinking while everyone praises her taste. That's her world. Meanwhile, I'll be home on my couch with my dog, watching a movie in a living room that actually feels lived in. Posters on the walls. Dog toys in the corner. My space. My peace. The win isn't the divorce. The win isn't watching her family unravel. The win isn't proving them wrong. The real victory is realizing I deserved respect, and choosing not to stay where I wasn't valued. My marriage didn't end at that dinner table. It ended long before, quietly, every time I was expected to swallow disrespect to keep the peace. That comment? It didn't ruin anything. It freed me. Best decision I ever made was sliding those papers across the table. Second best was walking out afterward. I'm not the support system. Not the guy who should feel lucky someone settled. Not the man who needs to be kept in his place. I'm just a guy who finally stood up and walked away from the table.